Good morning, children. How are you? Hope all are doing good. Today's lesson is for 10th class. The name of the lesson is Environment. You can see a picture on the screen. What you how is the picture? It is very dirty now. There is lot of garbage. The water body is polluted and the number of trees also very less, indicating that there is deforestation. So looking very dirty and messy. How is this picture? Yes, this is an organized, neat, clear picture. Here, the Mother Nature is smiling brightly, isn't it? It is full of vibrant colors. The name, so here there is no pollution. Coming to the lesson, the name of the lesson is environment. The exact pronunciation is environment or environment, not environment. This lesson is a interview between a environmentalist named Wangari Maathai and NHK radio. This NHK radio is a Japan-based radio. This Wangari Maathai, what is the specialty of Wangari Maathai is she is the first African woman who won the Nobel Prize for Peace. Okay, environment. Environment. Interview with Wangari Maathai, environmental activist and Nobel Prize winner. Wangari Maathai started the Green Belt movement and also fought for equal rights for women in Africa. She is the first African woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize. Read the excerpts from her interview with NHK. What is the first question? How did you become aware of the environment? The NHK radio member is asking Wangari Mataji, how you became aware. Aware means conscious of. Aware means conscious of environment. Wangari Mata is giving answer. From the time we started, we were trying to respond to the basic needs of the people in the rural areas, and people are asking for clean drinking water, for food, for energy, which is mostly firewood, for building material, for fodder for the animals, and all these come from the land. So we knew that what the people in the rural areas were asking for had to do with the environment. They did not have those things because the environment was degraded. So from the very beginning, we understood that we have to rehabilitate the environment. I asked the rural people. The rural people are asking, striving, demanding for three things. What are those basic needs? Yes, those demands are clean drinking water, food, and energy. What is energy? Firewood. Nowadays we have LPG gas stoves, but before 25 years or 60, 40 years, and that too in rural areas, they cook food with firewood only. Okay, for building material and fodder for animals. These are the basic needs for the rural people. How we all get these basic needs from the environment, but the environment is not giving all this because of degradation means become became worse. So this global uh, Green Belt movement started to rehabilitate the environment. What is meant by rehabilitate? Bringing back to its original position. So our main task is bringing back the nature to its original position, rehabilitating the environment from pollution. Okay, fodder means food for animals, that is grass. Aware means conscious of. Respond means react, that is the Green Belt movement members responded to rehabilitate the environment. Here you can see the picture of Wangari Maathai receiving the Nobel Peace Prize. The forested mountains were the sources of water and the sources of rain. So when you deforest, you cause a shortage of water and a change of rainfall rainfall patterns, and therefore people are not able to get food and water. Therefore, in order for them to have good environment that can sustain their livelihoods, it is important to have a government that accounts to them, that protects them, that protect their interests, that is concerned about their lives. So if the mountains are forested, that is, if the mountains are filled with trees, they can attract the clouds, so the rainfall will be good. If the rainfall is good and the rainfall pattern is good, the cultivation will be good and everything will be good, so there will be sustainability of livelihood. But the government is not taking care of all these interests. That is the problem said by Wangari Maathai. The second question is NHK Radio is asking how peace connected to a good environment. How peace and environment are related? Asked by NHK Radio. Many wars are fought in the world are fought over natural resources. Some wars are fought because the environment is so degraded that it is not able to support communities, and so they fight over the little that is left. Others are fought because some people want to take a lot of resources to control them and to keep many other people out. So, what is the problem? Is for main in the world, what is the main reason for wars is the natural resources. What are the natural resources? Yes, petrol, diesel, charcoal, all these are natural resources, and these natural resources should be distributed equally, but that is not happening. Let us see. Here you can see deforested land, isn't it? Big trees were cut down and all the trees were removed, leading to deforestation, isn't it? Deforest means cut down trees. Source means place of origin. The forested mountains are the sources of waters. That is, the forested mountains are the origin for the rain. And sustain means maintaining is sustaining. Concerned, worried, degraded, reduced in quality. Now, whether this happens at the or at the regional level, whether this happens at the global level or at the regional level, sooner or later this discussion what that discontent is strong enough is conflict. So good management of the natural resources, equitable distribution of these resources is important for peace. As I said earlier, the natural resources should be distributed equally. If not, what will happen? Uh, there will be discontent among the people. Discontent means dissatisfaction. This dissatisfaction leads to argument. Later leads to wars or fightings. Okay, so what is needed? Good management of natural resources, equal distribution of these resources is important for peace. So if you want to maintain peace in the country or in the world, what is necessary? Definitely equitable distribution of resources is very much essential, but it is not possible among the people, that too among the countries also. If we do not have democratic space, respect for human beings, respect for human rights, giving other people dignity, that is why the three themes are related. She is saying that the three themes are related for development. What are they? That is like she is comparing the three themes with an African stool with the three legs and the basin on which you sit. The three legs, one leg is peace, the other leg is good governance, the third leg is sustainable management. She is focusing on three areas. One is peace, another is good governance, and third is sustainable management of resources. If these three are in proper way, what will happen? When you have those three legs, now you can put the base in, which is development. If these three areas are good, automatically there will be development in that area. And if you try to balance that stool without those three, it won't happen. If any one of the leg is disturbed, there will be no development. We have not shared our resources equitably. We have allowed some people, especially those in power, to acquire a lot at the expense of the majority, and we have also engaged in conflict. But what is happening among the countries or among the people in a particular area? There is no equal distribution. Those who has power, they are enjoying lot of resources, and those who are not who are poor, they are not getting their amount of resources. Discontent, what are the meanings of these words? Discontent is dissatisfaction. Conflict means argument. Equitable, reasonable, or fair. Acquire means gain or obtain. Just now we discussed about African stool. Let us see that African stool. Yes, there are three legs, isn't it? One is a peace, another leg is sustainable management, and third one is a good governance. If the government is good, if their governance is good, this leg will be stable and peace. And another one is sustainable management. Sustainable management is one one has to maintain the resources for the next generation also. As the past generations maintained in proper way, we are using the resources, isn't it? In that way, we have to carry forward those resources, natural resources, to the next generation. For that, sustainable management is necessary regarding resources. If these three legs are okay, if these three areas are okay, then what happened? The base will be strong. That base is nothing but development. Okay. Next question is what was the environment when what was the environment when you were young, and how did you go about saving it? She's the NHK radio member is asking, please say how is the environment when you are in childhood. Now Vangari Mata is giving answer. When I was a child, which is almost more than 50 years ago, the environment was very pristine, very beautiful, and very green. We were a British colony, and the British government at that time started to clear cut the indigenous forests in our forested mountains because they wanted to establish commercial plantations of exotic species of trees such as pines from the northern hemisphere and the eucalyptus from Australia. These trees are very nice. They grow tall and they grow very fast. But as they grow, they destroy all the local biological diversity. All the flora and fauna disappeared. So, although we were getting commercial timber for the growing timber industry, we also destroyed our local flora and fauna. She is saying that when she was a child, the atmosphere or the environment is pristine. Pristine means clear and fresh. But the British people introduced some exotic species of plants into her colony. They Wangari Mata used to live in a British colony, and in that the British government introduced some exotic species. What is meant by exotic species? From other countries, trees from other countries, like eucalyptus from Australia and pine from northern hemisphere. Because of this new varieties, the indigenous means native or belonging to that place, and the African varieties of plants were extinct. They all were destroyed. Even though the trees, the pine and eucalyptus are very beautiful, as they grow, they destroyed the environment. They destroyed the, you know, underground water level, etc., etc. At the same time, all the flora and fauna disappeared. What is meant by flora? Flora means the plants in a particular area, and fauna is the animals in a particular area. That is the total flora and fauna. That is the biological system destroyed. Even though they cultivated or they grown many timber plants for timber industry, wood means timber. Because of this, the local flora and fauna was disappeared. That is the problem. As a result, these forests, which were the water towers, were no longer able to contain the water. So, when the rains fell, the water ran downstreams and ended up in the lakes and oceans instead of going down into the underground reservoir so that it could come back to us and in the form of rivers. One thing we noted that not only did the rain pattern change, became less, but also the rivers started drying up. We lost our local biological diversity. So that's a lot of damage to our environment. Because of this exotic species, as they are grown for timber, that is for wood, they continue to deforest and they continue to replant. Because of this, the earth crust is destroyed and it is not able to absorb water. So the water reservoir, the underground water reservoir was disturbed. So the total rainwater is moving into streams, later into canals, later into oceans. So there is no water reservoirs, underground water reservoir. So there is no proper cultivation, led to biological diversity, led to destroyment of biological diversity. So that's a lot of damage to our environment, said by Wangari Maathai. That is because of the Britishers introduced because of the introduction of exotic species into their environment, the biological diversity is destroyed and later there is damage in their environment. That is why in 1975, at the very first United Nations Conference for Women in Mexico, many of the women were saying, we need food, we need water, we need clean drinking water, and we need fodder for our animals. And I was wondering what has happened. These are the things that were there 20 years ago when I was a child. The environment had changed, and that's when I started this campaign to restore the vegetation and to restore the land and to rehabilitate the forest. The first United Nations Conference for Women was held in 1975 in Mexico. In that conference, the women echoed their demands. Their main demands is food, water, clean drinking water, and fodder for animals. Wangari Maathai was stunned. She was so uh, surprised. What happened? All these were there 20 years ago. What happened? When I was child, 20 years back, all were there in our environment. What happened? She observed the conditions. Then she started the green belt movement. That is, she campaigned to restore. Restore means bringing back to the original position the vegetation and land and rehabilitate the forest. You want to restore the vegetation. Vegetation means, let us see, vegetation means the plants of a particular area. Restore means put back. Rehabilitation, restore or recondition or bringing back to the original position. Here you can see the picture, a picture. Here, the Kenyan women are participating in the campaign of a green belt movement with the saplings, with the newborn plants in their hands, which is an inspirational and motivational picture, isn't it? And HK Radio asking, what happened when you started working with the women? Of course, Wangari Mata, you started working with the women. Women are very much interested in household work and they are busy with their household work and that too they are illiterate. How you managed with the women? Wangari Mata is giving answer. Well, for the first time, when I told them let us plant trees, the women said that they did not know how to plant trees. When I asked the women, they said only one thing. No, 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 we can't because we don't know how to plant the trees. So I asked the foresters to come and teach them. So she asked the foresters to teach the women how to plant trees and how to protect the trees. But they were very complicated. They are professionals. It became very complicated for ordinary illiterate women. So I told the women, we shall use our common sense and just sow the seeds like other seeds. Women work on the farms. They are the ones who plant, they are the ones who cultivate, they are the ones who produce food. So I told them that seeds of trees are like any other seeds. So if they were to treat these tree seeds, uh, these are like any other seeds. So if they were to treat these tree seeds the same way they treat other seeds of food crops, there is no difference. She said only one thing to the women. As they are illiterate, they are not able to uh, uh, understand what the professionals are saying. Then she said only one thing. There is no confusion. This is not a robotic science. Just treat the seeds just like our local seeds. Any seed will give new saplings, any seed will germinate, and you keep on sowing the seeds, they will germinate, and you treat that small sapling very uh, protectively, said Wangari Maathai. They will germinate and they will know these are the seedlings from the seeds they planted, and we gave them plastic bags to be able to put those seedlings and to nurture them. And when they were about half a meter long, then they could go and transplant them on their farms. She said, no, this is not a robotic science. So they planted the seeds, they germinated, and when they became half meter, they just in plastic bags, they, that is the women transplanted the saplings and later into farms. In that way they learned everything very easily. In the beginning, it was difficult, but they soon gained confidence and they became very competent foresters. In the beginning, it was some difficulty for the women, but later they gained confidence and they got a very good confidence uh, among themselves, and they became very competent foresters. So I called them here. I means Wangari Mata. I called the women. Them means women foresters without diplomas. Okay.